Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Jim Feist in Las Vegas with Hank Goldberg. Hank, good morning. How was your evening?
Oh, I got a new favorite coach. His name is Nagy. I remember I gave out the under on this game, and thanks to him going for 2 points, I not only had the under, but I had a small play on the Bears. So I'm way ahead for the football season. I think I'll stop now.
2-0, perfect record. Hank goes into the Super Bowl with a perfect 100% record. Perfect. That's funny. We got a long way to go, Hank. I hate to tell you. Every day we're going to have to come up to bat. That was an interesting game. We saw a lot. Did you see anything like that you didn't expect to see?
I think the Bears' defense is going to be pretty good this year. I think they'll give teams some trouble. They've got good running game, which you didn't get to see last night because none of the regulars played. But they've got a nice coaching staff, and I don't think they're going to be an easy out.
No, I don't think...
As far as Baltimore is concerned, that rookie quarterback is he's not ready to play. He's going to have to sit and learn the whole year.
Well, they got Flacco, who is a very good quarterback. I mean, he's not a great quarterback, but he's very, very good. He's in the top 10 for sure of quality quarterbacks. If he has the...
I don't think he's in the top 10 anymore, but we'll see. He hasn't been in the top 10 for the last 4 years.
No, I agree with that. But now he has somebody pushing him, and if they give him some deep threats with a running game, the guy has a monster arm. And he's always been very accurate on deep throws. If they can give him a little time and a serious running game, he can be very dangerous, and you can look for an upscale offense here. It's very possible, because he does have the pressure of this kid trying to take his job, and nobody wants to lose their job if they're not quite ready to step aside. So being pushed might actually help him. I hope it does, for his sake. I mean, not that he needs the money or anything, granted, but it's always interesting to see those spots come up. I've been following baseball. We're all following baseball, but these scores that we're seeing in baseball right now are absolutely amazing. 25 runs, 21 runs, 15 runs, 18 runs. I mean, the bats have come alive since the All-Star break. It wasn't this way in the beginning. Of course, when you have any cold weather or something, or inclement weather, it'll slow it down. But right now, it's bombs away. They're just hitting the ball everywhere.
They are, unless Greinke's pitching. But he's been terrific for Arizona.
Well, he did. He has his moments, that's for sure. Sale got pushed aside last night. Boston comes in with a backup. They get down 4-0 and then bombs away. You said it earlier, Hank. The Yankees are playing for a wild card. They're not going to catch this team. Boston's the best team in baseball right now.
Well, they don't have a pitcher they can count on right now. Sabathia gets lit up by the Red Sox. I mean, we'll see what happens tonight when they got one of their aces going. But you can get a nice price if you want to play the Red Sox.
I already did. Not that I'm giving away free plays or anything, but that's a free play. I did play the Red Sox. Just one of those things where this team has taken off at the right time, and they're creating a spread in that big major league or American League spread with the Yankees, and they're going to be tough to catch. They're not going to catch them. It's just not going to happen. But there's a lot of other good games on the board today and throughout the weekend. We've got Archer going today for Pittsburgh. That's a big gamble for Pittsburgh. They gave away some talent to get him, and they're making a push to make a wild card spot. And this is a big day for them. If he performs well, and they can beat St. Louis in this spot, they're moving up that yardstick, and they could surprise everybody. Washington has started to light it up. They are hitting the ball quite a bit, and they got in the All-Star game, and Harper wins the home run, and and it may be controversial, but in any case, he won the home run. That's lit them up. I mean, they have started to hit the ball very, very well, and they're making a push. This just...
Washington is still this week. They're a sub 500 team. They're trying to climb over the 500 mark. I'm not crazy about Washington. I just think they're too inconsistent. But if you look at their schedule, they play teams they should beat for a while. We'll see how they do. I mean, they have trouble beating the Marlins.
Yeah, they've had a very spotty first half of the season, no question about it. Talking about big games, Houston visits the Dodgers for the first time since the World Series. And it's Verlander against Wood. Great pitching matchup. Verlander's softened up quite a bit since the beginning of the season. He's not the same guy he was back in April and May. The Dodgers have become... The Dodgers are one of the best teams in baseball since they got that terrible start out of the way. So this is a great matchup. Houston, world champions, great lineup. They've improved their bullpen a little bit with some trades. They finally got rid of Giles. Then got Oakland is on fire, has been on fire. Seattle's trying to help themselves. They got Robinson Cano coming back at the 14th of August, and if he's in any kind of shape, that could help them. Milwaukee is coming home off that long road trip. They had a rough time going for a while, and they're up against the Rockies, who've had some spotty moments as well. It's a very interesting baseball season. I can't, just because football is, starting, I can't give up on baseball. It's just too interesting and potentially very profitable. Anything?
This has been a tough road trip for Houston, and they go into Los Angeles. The Dodgers team has gotten a little healthier than last week. As you say, this is a good pitching matchup tonight. We'll see. I'm not giving up on Verlander, but this will be a good game to watch, except unless you're on the West Coast where you can't watch them.
or unless you bet on the wrong team and lose your money, then it may not be so much fun. That's always the case. Hank, I know you're busy. I don't know how long your ride is in the bus, but
it's a few minutes. I'll tell you, it's got the Whitney tomorrow at Saratoga. It'll be a good race. There's a good stakes race today, which I've given out on our service. So there's always good horse racing going on this time of year. And we were going to go over some football overs and unders today, if you got a couple of minutes. I'll tell you something about some of these teams. The Giants are having a very good training camp right now. Eli is throwing the ball well in his camp. Houston's having a very good camp. They're working up in West Virginia right now. They had to wait to go out today because there were tornadoes there.
Oh, boy.
But if Houston's defense stays healthy, they're going to be a very good football team this year and a very good team to beat. Some injuries are hitting some of these teams early, but if that Houston defense stays healthy, they're going to be tough.
I agree with that. I actually have a bet on Houston to win that division. However, I must say that there are 4 teams in there that, if the right things break, any one of them could win. I look for some regret.
Luck is playing. So far, Luck has thrown the ball pretty well, and while they're being very cautious with him, it looks like he's going to be back, and that's going to be huge news for Indianapolis.
No question. Luck is an extremely talented player. We haven't seen him in a couple of years. If they give him protection, which they had not done for a while, which is probably one of the reasons he got hurt, he got hit so much, give him protection and give him a decent running game, they can be very tough. The Colts, the Titans, the Jags, and the Texans, you could throw a blanket over those 4 teams, and if things break right or wrong, any one of them could win that division. I think the Jags are going to regress, and one of the reasons I think they're going to regress is because last year the Texans and the Colts really didn't have a quarterback that could compete. So those two teams are going to make it tougher for the Jags to do what they did last year, and I look for some drop-off in that case. And then you're going to have to look at Bortles to step up offensively if their defense regresses at all. And I don't know if they will, but they got a lot of breaks last year. They got a lot of turnovers, sometimes of their own volition, and other times it was just breaks. So I look for the Jags to regress a little bit. That doesn't mean they're going to be terrible. I'm not saying that. But I could see every one of these teams in that division going 8-8.
Watch out for Tennessee. Mike Vrabel taking over as coach there. They got a good running game. Mariota's a good quarterback, and their defense will be better with Vrabel coaching. He's an old friend of mine, and he's going to be tough. We didn't mention Ohio State and what's happening there. That's an ugly story, and you may see another legendary coach tumble.
Well, it's very, very complicated. I know that Smith was the grandson of Bruce, who was the coach right before Meyer. And there's a friendship there, and there's a loyalty there. And that may have played, and I don't know anything, okay? I just know what I'm reading. We don't always get the best news to read. But the way it looks is that he had a bigger responsibility to, stop this situation or at least curtail it. And I think he leaned towards his friendship with Bruce. Will probably help him get that position. I'm speculating, but it's an ugly thing. I feel sorry for all the people. It's a terrible thing for the school, for the people involved. But people make mistakes. Humans make mistakes. They make decisions, and they don't realize what the consequences can be of their actions and decisions. We all do it. And down the road, you say, damn, I wish I'd have done something different. And I'm sure they're saying that this morning because it's a mess.
I'm going to tell you something. People in Florida have been upset with Urban Meyer and what he got away with when he was the Gator coach. And it led to a guy going to the Patriots who was not disciplined, who ultimately went to jail for life and took his own life. That was under Urban Meyer's watch at Florida, where that guy skated. And he failed to discipline players when he was the coach at Florida. And he's always been soft on players and soft on the disciplinary side. And there are people at Florida who are looking at this and saying, it's about time.
That's an interesting take on it, Hank. And wow, that really adds a lot more light to it. It looks like maybe Urban has gotten away with things over the years that he should have been, slapped on the wrist for. I mean, if he did that, and well, obviously he did that, and it carried through. Finally caught up to him. I mean, this is a big-time guy in a big-time program at Ohio State, from a big-time program before that, and before that. Great success. But if you cut corners often enough, eventually, very likely, it's going to come back and get you. And it looks like he made a couple enemies along the way, and they spilled the beans on him. And that can happen. Okay, well, it's a dismal note to end the podcast on, but it's going to be an interesting situation to keep an eye on. Well, we can end the podcast on a positive note. Hank's plays and my plays, horses, baseball, everything, for the weekend, JimFeist.com. If you want to win, that's where you go, JimFeist.com. If you don't go there, you don't play the plays that we have posted there, we'll talk to you on Monday, and you'll be probably a lot sadder than we will be because we'll be collecting. So thank you, Hank, and thank you for everybody out there listening. That was a lot of fun, Hank. Enjoy your bus ride. I got Ruben driving me. I can't go wrong. All right, buddy. Take care. That worked out good, Jim. I'm glad we did that. Well, maybe we should do it on the bus all the time. Then we'll have a pretty good idea when we're going to do it. Well, I can't predict what time. Sometimes they come.